Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel. And it's Saturday, so that means it's time for Star Trek. And I'm joined by Skeptalk, Irate Prostate, and welcome back, the One Ton Hammer. How are you three doing today?
I'm just glad to have Hammer back. I'm just
Round
glad
of
that he's
applause.
feeling
Jeez.
well enough to come back, man. It's nice having
Welcome
you back.
back, bro.
Yeah,
Really
we missed you.
My first real stream.
Yeah,
I jumped in
same
on
without you.
Minions for a couple of minutes, but yeah.
Yeah, this is the first one that counts. Welcome back, bud.
Thank you.
Glad
good to be
you're
back.
feeling well enough to do this.
And
So-
today's episode is called "In the Mirror Darkly." It's it's the only two-parter mirror episode in any of the series.
Yes.
But before we do that, I want your thoughts on the Picard trailer, you guys, because it's just come out, and I got a chance to watch it. I'm sure you guys did as well, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on: are any of you going to give it a try?
I watched the first 15 seconds of it and turned it off.
Oh yeah.
So, no. that would be no.
Well,
My mind firmly slammed shut.
what was you? What did you like the Next Generation?
Yes, I did.
All right, so you were a fan of all right, Next Generation and the original series, right?
Yeah, I basically love good canon Star Trek, and I have even come to pretty much like Star Trek Discovery.
Really?
I mean, not Discovery. Star Trek Enterprise.
I was gonna say
not Discovery. Star Trek Enterprise.
I was about to
Enterprise.
STD.
Star Trek Enterprise. Star Trek Enterprise. Not
Yeah.
Star Trek
STD.
Discovery. Yeah, not STD. I hate STDs.
Mm-hmm.
In any
I was about to say,
Yeah.
Skep,
No,
what
no,
happened?
No, Star Trek Enterprise. No, no. Even LSD would not help me with Star Trek Discovery, but Star Trek Enterprise, I have come to kind of get a grudging respect for that. Unfortunately, episodes like this one erode.
Okay, but I don't. So you don't want to watch the Picard. You don't want to give Picard a
negative.
even a first like.
I
Even
don't
a premiere.
want. I don't want to hurt my mind. I don't want to hurt my precious memory, my beautiful. I have a picture of Picard, and Picard's a very special, figure in my pantheon of Star Trek beings, and I don't want to fuck it up. Basically, I don't want the additional memories. I don't want the, additional data that would. There's nothing that's going to happen that's going to improve what he did in TNG. He was anywhere from good to brilliant in TNG, and I mean consistently, really top notch.
That's true.
That's not going to happen now.
It struck me how old he sounds.
He's old.
He is old, but
What the fuck?
No, it struck me like you know how some people when they get older, it doesn't like their voice changes a bit, but it doesn't it doesn't change too much.
Right.
Yeah.
His has like when you hear him speak, you're like, oh wow.
Sounds like an old British man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And even when they have him give the engage order, it's kind of feeble.
He sounded like Dick Van Dyke when Dick Van Dyke on Mary Poppins played the grandfather who was the chairman of the board of the bank. He was an uncredited part, but that was actually Dick Van Dyke playing the part of the old man who ran the bank, who fired Mr. Banks at the end of the movie. That's actually Dick Van Dyke. And he's the one who it was the first time he'd ever laughed in his whole life was when they told him that joke, was when Mr. Banks told him that joke, and that was when he got rehired and all that stuff, and that evinces the happy ending of Mary Poppins. He sounded just like that old fool.
So he's 79 years old.
Yeah.
Which is young.
Which
is quite young.
Yeah.
Somebody just said William Shatner still sounds the same. He does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, you can't. If you were to listen to Shatner just without looking at him,
you'd think he was the same guy.
You'd think he's the same age.
Suck my Twitter. Suck it.
He's so funny to follow on Twitter.
He's absolutely, he's a world of entertainment on Twitter.
Yeah. He
So
definitely has a grasp.
Hammer, what did you think about the Picard trailer?
The Picard trailer scared me. Probably not the reaction.
Actually, it scared me too.
I find that a very interesting reaction.
Yeah, probably not the action you probably would have thought, but
right.
I watched it all the way through. I want to make sure I gave it 100% because I gave Star Trek Discovery a watch. And I was like,
yeah,
I want to know. I want to know which way it's going to go. I want to watch the first 3 episodes, blah, blah, blah.
I watched the first season.
Oh, wow. Good on you. I got through the first.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm one of those people that I'll sit through a piece of shit just saying, okay, it's gotta get better. It's gotta get better. Only a moron would make it worse. Right. And of course, they're fucking morons. So what can I say?
So it scared me because I thought, wow, this, Skep's gonna laugh at me. This looks good. This looks like this could be really good. And it scared me. It scared me because the people behind it are the people behind STD.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, I think I tweeted out about this. Please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Please don't fuck it up. Because just looking at the entire thing, I thought to myself, it is this. Patrick Stewart is playing Picard. He's not playing a new guy that's like Picard or his interpretation of Picard or STD's what they thought Picard might be. He's actually playing TNG's Picard. He's playing that guy. And you see things from the original series. This is going to be canon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be
the vineyard.
You see his communicator is a TNG communicator. You see little things like that. You got to watch. There's about 1 billion things that go by that if you're not watching, you're going to miss them. But things like that, like his communicator is a TNG communicator. Jerry Ryan shows up at 7 of 9. Data's at the end.
Do you think that's Data or B4?
It's B4.
It's B4. I'm calling Data, but it's B4. But the point being is,
Pincalo said it might be Lore, and I said no, it can't be Lore. Lore got disassembled. So
yeah, and B4 looks more like that, and he looks more inquisitive and more kind of like, hey, I'm goofy B4, So yeah, the expression you can tell. Spiner's a real good face actor, and he did a lot with that one character in 3 different occasions. So I think he was in a great series that got canceled after 2 seasons called Outcast. Did any of y'all see that?
I've heard of it.
Oh my God.
See it, but I've heard of it.
It's really better than Walking Dead. It was a Robert Kirkman comic series.
Okay.
And but the TV series didn't pan out, man. Nobody watched it, and it was really good. Nobody watches the good shit.
Of course not.
No.
Just to
the Jar Jar Binks of Star Trek. Who's that?
Mr. Monopoly in chat mentioned that 7 of 9 was gray when Voyager returned to Earth. She was not gray.
But see, this is supposed to take place 25 years after Nemesis, right?
Yeah, right. She's a Borg. So,
in canon, Voyager got home, what? A couple of years after Nemesis?
Yeah.
So, of course, 7 of 9 is going to be at least graying, because she was...
Not at all.
No, you don't think so?
No, her nanoprobes are going to keep her from aging. They're going to automatically fix stuff as it breaks because that's what they do.
That's true. I should have thought of that.
Oh wow.
But the thing that bothered me was her implant is bigger than it was, not smaller.
Yeah.
I
noticed that too.
And it was dark gray instead of silver.
And we got a samurai Vulcan, or is he a Romulan?
He dresses like a samurai, and he looks like a Vulcan. So I don't know.
That was actually where I turned it off. Was when you first saw 7 of 9, and I saw the Sapupi implant.
Yeah. Well, and the guy that played Frankenstein on Penny Dreadful, Dr. Frankenstein, is one of the main characters. He's a fucking he's an excellent actor. The first two seasons of Penny Dreadful should be seen by everybody, especially the Frankenstein story.
Patrick Stewart's an exceptional actor.
Oh God, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
But this still is awful. Just looks awful.
I think I'm gonna at least watch the first like the series premiere.
And did you notice there's a scene where he's like, there's 5 lights behind him?
I wish we could all watch it together. I wish there was someone we could all watch it together.
BP,
It'd be nice to watch together and have everybody have the option to pause it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So something can happen, we can pause it and then talk about it, and then play a bit more and then pause it and talk about it.
I had my shit going. We could do that right now.
I can do it, but I mean, we can't do it on live, obviously, because we'll get hit. But I can do it through. I found a way of doing this through Discord.
Could we do it privately?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I can do this privately through Discord.
I'd love to do that. If
I
there's
would
any
do
cost,
that.
How are you doing that?
I'll pay for it.
There's nothing to pay for. It's an option that Discord can do.
No, I'm saying like for the CBS All Access.
Is it through the
Oh, you don't mean the trailer. You mean the actual first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual first episode. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
I could get access to it through Crave TV, but I don't know how I could get you guys access to that.
Isn't Amazon Prime going to have it after?
I have Amazon Prime. I have
I don't know, man.
Membership on Amazon Prime.
I have
Did
Prime
they
too.
let Netflix have it as well?
Netflix Canada, but not US.
Yeah, not US. It's not on US.
Lucky me.
But the easy thing to do is VPN, and then
VPN it. That's right, dude.
Beauty, way to go, eh?
Already did it.
That's right.
But you have to if you do VPN to Netflix Canada, you also, if you're going to do any streaming, you have to affect a Canadian accent. So you have to say stuff like, I'm just knocking back a few of my favorites, eh?
Or just get Della Hayes to do the work for you.
That's a possibility. You say hoser a lot.
Eating
Mr.
back bacon.
Monopoly. Mr. Monopoly, I don't know if Troy and Riker will be there. They didn't show them in the movie, but Frakes has been.
Rumor is that they're both going to be in it, yeah. And then they're going to be on the Titan.
Well, that would make sense.
Well, yeah. I don't know how long they.
I love so many of these people that, I'm going to be like Al Pacino and the mob. I try to get out and I keep getting sucked back in.
Well, it looks like they'll be dealing with the board,
Yep.
and so.
Yeah. I'm good. And
the ultimate nemesis.
Yeah. Resistance is futile.
There's a rumor that Q might return, says Mr. Monopoly.
Oh, really?
I haven't heard that at all.
What's the source?
Neither have I.
Monopoly, what's your source on that? Is that just something that comes
My
from
gut would say
dreams, or do you have something you can point us to? You have because don't just say stuff like
Please
that.
don't.
As a writer, though, I would think that they would have a Q plan, because Q is like this lifetime attachment to Picard now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Q can't even go visit Janeway without talking about Picard.
Exactly. He's always on his mind.
Every episode that he's in Voyager, he's got to drop Jean-Luc's name somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Delancey has said that Q is his favorite character he's ever played in his career.
Yeah.
So I think if somebody from Star Trek said, "Hey, John," he'd be like, "Yes, can I play Q now?"
Yeah, I'm there.
So
Yeah, and the card playing with Data, harkens back to the last episode where you see them, we pull out while they're playing a poker game.
Some Star Trek fandom site, says Mr. Monopoly. Yeah, I wouldn't put too much stock in
Nerdist. It came from Nerdist. I'm looking.
Oh, fuck
4 days
Nerdist.
ago.
What are the Nerdist saying?
Bullshit.
Chris Hardwick is
negative.
a whiny progressive asshole.
Exactly.
Fuck Chris Hardwick.
Yeah, fuck Nerdist. Those guys. I got it. And it says 4 days ago, now that we've gotten the first look at Star Trek Picard, 7 things that we want to see in. Let me just see if he actually has any ideas. It brings back many Star Trek favors, namely Data and Jerry Ryan, blah, blah, blah. Fans who were skeptical about the show and perhaps skipped Discovery are all jumping on board for this return to the glory days of Star Trek: The Next Generation. But now that we have a lot more data, no pun intended, on what to expect, need to be included, and those are. We have yet to hear of a return of Dr. Beverly Crusher as played by
not happening.
And importantly, Wesley Crusher, of course.
I could do without that too.
Yeah, and I hear that. She and Picard have long history, blah, blah, blah. Geordi, LaForge, and Worf also deserve a chance to reconnect with their old captain, but are not signed up, at least right now.
Yeah, there's nobody, only Brent Spiner, Jerry Ryan, and Patrick Stewart are old school. I'm looking at a interview with the cast right now.
Talking about doing a daring thing, casting Ilhan Omar as Worf.
That would be excellent.
Well, she's about as close-minded as Worf can be sometimes, but
Absolutely. Never knew Klingons hated Jews like that. Anyway,
speaking of close-minded bitches, Pincalo sent an article.
Pincalo is not a closed-minded bitch.
No.
Disclaimer.
But he sent an article, Skep. I don't know if you're able to pull it up. We'll get to the two.
I read it. The Beverly Crusher.
The Kate Mulgrew bullshit. So apparently, according to Kate Mulgrew, Star Trek has always been misogynist.
Yeah.
The original series was misogynist, and so was Gene Roddenberry, and even Next Generation, because it followed the journey of Picard.
Right.
So yeah, people can't be characters anymore. They're just they're political icons.
Yep.
Right.
And
and they have to think a certain way.
And they have to look and act and think a certain way. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was very disappointed. Like I wasn't. I shouldn't say I was surprised, because really deep down I wasn't. It was more disappointment, because I've followed these actors ever since I was a kid, and they played characters that I love.
Yeah.
Most of the TNG cast is progressive the same way. You just haven't seen evidence of it. They did.
I've ended up unfollowing all of them.
All the actors pretty much in Hollywood
they did a convention together. There was like 6 or 7 of them, and they kneeled on stage.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Kneel to the goddess of feminism.
They're all like that. Everybody in California is infected.
Yeah.
They just need to throw a couple nukes at the.
We just need to nuke it from space to be sure.
I was just saying, nuke the. What's the?
L.A.
No, the big crack between them.
The
San Andreas Fault.
Yeah, they just need to nuke the San Andreas Fault and let that thing just kind of like drift out into the water.
Yeah.
Or
the island of California. It's the
new
new
ion cannon.
Or, and here's a segue into the actual meat of the stream, we could open up a rift by detonating a tricobalt device in the gravity well of a dead star.
Yeah.
And send them through to the mirror universe.
Okay. That works.
So
they would love those guys.
They sure would.
There's a lot to fix over there.
Oh yeah.
So this episode, the first of the 2-parter, opens with the scene that you think is from the First
I know.
Contact.
I was so fucked. I was
Most
so
of it is.
confused. I was because I can't see the screen, right? I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
why is First Contact music playing? What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
And then I hear,
that's the first good part right there.
yeah, and then
You
I
get to hear the first contact music.
and then and then I hear, yeah, and then I hear "Live Long and Prosper," bang, and I'm like, what the fuck? Did they just shoot the Vulcan?
They did.
Ah.
They
And
shot
I'm
the
like-
Vulcan.
And I went, oh, cool. Like,
This is the beginning of the reason why I like this episode so much. Is
Yeah.
because the first thing you do is you get to see Zephram Cochrane again.
yeah,
Then you get to hear the first contact music, which was gorgeous.
yeah,
Mhm.
And even though that it diverges at that point, you're still reminded, hey, remember First Contact? Wasn't that a fucking awesome movie?
Yes, it was.
So you immediately feel good right there. I mean, yeah, you
Mhm.
get a little bit of a shock with the shotgun. That's the whole point, for them to do that. But I immediately felt, oh, I'm home.
Mhm.
and then they rip you out of there by shooting the Vulcan.
Yeah.
And then you know what I thought was brilliant? The changing of the intro music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know
the
what
whole intro has changed.
they should have just honestly they should have used that music for the whole fucking series.
And what's interesting is it shows the conquests of it's like instead of showing progression through exploration, right? It's progression of conquering.
Yeah.
Through
And-
warfare, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I love the way that none of this really even harkens back to usually a mirror episode, like I'll have like somebody from the other universe in it or something like this. This all takes place in the mirror universe. And that's what's so cool about it. There's no crossover.
I like that.
Me too.
I like the little Easter eggs from all the different
Mhm.
series. Like, and I like the change up. Instead of Admiral Forrest, we have Captain Forrest
Mhm.
and Commander Archer.
Yeah,
And
his haircut's even different. He's got this like buzz cut, kind of like this spiky, like
I
1
liked
inch. Yeah, I did it too, man. I thought it looked good on him, man.
And it's basically this two-parter centers around Archer on this conquest mission. First, he tries to take over the ship and become captain, and that's the two-parter. And he succeeds for about half of the episode. He takes command quite quickly, but he also loses his command. And it's really interesting to see he goes from I just want to be in command of a ship to fuck that, I want to be emperor, in the second episode. And it's very mirror universe, it's very over the top evil, like all of the mirror people are, right? They're supposed to be over the top evil caricatures of themselves.
Yeah, putting the hoe in Hoshi.
Yeah, putting the hole in Hoshi. Yep.
I had to use that line, that joke, because she's the consort,
Yep.
the captain's consort, and so she's kind of like furniture. But we find out there's more to her.
Oh yeah.
There always seemed to be something in the non mirror universe between her and the captain.
Yeah.
He comes out to get her from her teaching job.
Yeah.
He spends specific time to go get her. There's something always kind of like, what's going on here? So that kind of, it did not come as a shock. Like, oh, that's out of place.
What came to me as a shock was her messing around with Admiral or Captain Forrest. I was like,
Yeah.
Well, that's mirror universe kind of stuff. I mean, look what Kieran Nerys did. She was,
or the fact that T'Pol went to Trip for Ponfar help. Like that's just weird.
So, yeah,
I like the back and forth between her and Trip.
Yeah.
I like that back and forth. That was
that development
that I did like about this.
Yeah, it worked. It ended up working really pretty good. The tension and the divergence of characters. You know, she's so logical and stoic, and he's like he's an emotional Southerner.
And then did you miss me? When at the end when she said, "Did you miss me?"
Oh, I missed that part.
At the end of it, when she's wondering about people missing people, it's almost as though she doesn't understand the concept.
Huh. I missed that part.
It's at the end of the second part.
I'll have to check that out.
I think it's in the last 5 minutes, last 10 minutes of the second one.
I like and I like that the name of the Constitution class ship that Archer finds and insists is there, but no one, like Admiral or I keep calling him Admiral Forrest. Captain Forrest is like, no, it's not there. That's bullshit. But they find the Defiant. An old Defiant, but the Defiant nonetheless.
Yeah,
but that was set up from the original series.
Yeah, exactly. It's NCC 1764.
Yeah.
That was the one that was lost. So yeah,
that was really cool. I like that.
The best part about that was seeing a Constitution class ship moving and firing again.
It was lost in Tholian space too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, shoot them.
I like the Tholian echo too. The whole bringing those back.
Yeah, and I like did you notice they used kind of the same noises for the Tholians that they did for the creature that attaches itself to Bolana in Nothing Human?
No.
If you go back and listen, they're very similar sound effects. That's just something that someone who listens to things would get.
I didn't like that they made them crab people.
No.
Oh,
no.
Blind Press.
Yeah.
I'm remembering that from another episode. I'm remembering that from the very last episode of season 4. I'm sorry, I got my wires crossed.
Oh, okay.
I don't want you to go searching for that. Senior moment. Sorry about that. Anyway, I just had to correct that.
Okay.
People, making unnecessary fun of me, and I didn't want you. Anyway, yes, that was from
These Are the Voyages.
Yeah, well, I've been watching a lot of other episodes.
Are you off, Logan?
Say bye, mommy. Nope, go. Oh, you just pulled on that. That's not good.
Goodbye, Logan.
Say bye, mommy.
I love you. Can you say bye, chat? That's Logan.
Oh, and officially we haven't wished Blind Press a happy birthday to you.
I'm gonna fix it when I get back.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Happy birthday, Blind.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
This
is the first of 3 streams I will be doing today.
As my family always says to me, I'm glad you're not dead yet. Well,
Nice.
yeah.
What a wonderful sentiment.
Yeah. Am I still in the will? Anyway.
Is anyone else upset that they made them crab people? Because I really didn't like that.
You know what I thought they reminded me of, man? Like this angular version of there's a movie called Quatermass and the Pit, also known as 20 Million Years to Earth, that came out in the 60s. It's an old Hammer science fiction movie. And it looked the creature looked like one of the Martians, and the movie's fantastic. Way ahead of its time, science fiction wise. But anyway, so I thought it looked more insectoid to me. But yeah, they didn't look good. The CGI was horrible.
Anyone else like Evil Phlox?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Evil Phlox was interesting.
He was awesome.
Didn't seem sincere to me.
Yeah.
No.
Nah, I mean, he did evil things and he said evil things and all that kind of stuff, but it didn't seem like his heart was in it. And I had the same problem with Jonathan Archer. He yelled at people like he was a basketball coach, but he never seemed angry.
It didn't
I-
seem like he was making eye contact either.
I was going to mention that this is an episode where I will agree with Skep on
I didn't like Archer at all. That
Scott
was
Bakula's tendency to overdo it.
overact.
This is an example of that. I got a lot of yelling and growling,
Yeah, there was a
but-
lot of that.
but there was no like when Cisco is when you've got evil Cisco and he's like, it's telling Smiley to do something and he doesn't growl or yell. He's got this tone of voice that is just like, you're gonna do what I say or I'm gonna break your neck.
Hmm.
And you believe it, but Bakula is just like, "Rah! I'm evil."
Yeah, I mean, I understand your point there that Cisco can be menacing, but the actor makes you feel that the character is feeling menacing and exuding that menacing when he does something. The problem I have with Bakula is he acts like he's angry. When you look at the character looks angry.
Yeah.
But if you look at the actor who's doing the work, he doesn't look angry at all.
Mm.
And I mean, when probably the best. What's a quick way to say it? When Shatner says "Khan,"
Yeah.
he looks like he's pissed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's acting with his whole
He
body.
conveys the emotion successfully.
Yeah.
What a good actor
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, Beckley doesn't.
Yeah.
Correct.
He doesn't at all. I don't see it in his face. I don't see it in the tension of his body, the way he moves. Nothing about him, the actor,
Mm.
portrays the feeling that his character is having.
Perfectly said. Exactly.
Yeah, because I think that character would feel like, the flawed mutiny, right, against Forrest.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, obviously this guy's kind of a fuck up
Mm-hmm.
in some ways, right? And I didn't get his internal sense of like, God damn it, I did it again. One of those. That wasn't. I agree. With.
Yeah, he seemed very much in the bent of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the definition of insanity.
Like, he was like, okay, I did a failed mutiny. Admiral Forrest is back in command. He's given me this assignment. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Now I
they're
have
both
to
insane.
defy
They're both insane. Forrest is doing the same thing, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
doing the same.
it. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. And then we've got now, do you think Vulcans are supposed to show more emotion in the Mirror Universe, or do you think that was bad writing?
Bad writing, in my opinion.
Really?
Because T'Pol was like almost crying in a couple of scenes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Well, and I just kind of went, Vulcan, really?
and
Well-
because Sobor never got like, well, actually, no, that's not true. Sobor got pretty terrified at the end.
Well, can you imagine what happened right after Cochrane killed the Vulcans?
And swarmed the ship.
Exactly, and yanked all the shit off the ship they needed and stuff. So that was the subjugation began right there,
Yeah.
I think, and so the Vulcans. I don't know. T'Pol, that didn't bother me as much, to be honest. It seemed like that they, at this point, we had talked about that the Vulcans weren't completely, had not completely purged their emotions
True.
as a race at this point. So I don't know. Maybe that was part of it too. I don't know. I think the best acting in it was Hoshi.
Yeah.
I really do. I think this spotlighted her talent, and I don't think she's ever been spotlighted like that again.
I have to say they kind of redeemed her, even though it was Mirror Hoshi,
Yeah.
from that fucking ditzy. Can you get me a shirt? to I'm gonna
cold. My nipples are sticking out.
yeah, and then it goes to this
Stop looking.
subversive. I'm gonna pretend to be in love with Archer, poison him, and then take over the fucking ship and be like, yeah, I'm Empress Sato.
This is
Fuck you.
That's the only part of the entire thing that I felt was completely out of place.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
I
I didn't like very much the girl power ending on it. Nah.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Didn't like the ending. That was
She was well written, she was well acted through the entire thing, but she ends up with the ship.
Yeah.
I
think
don't believe it.
Monicato's left hooks.
One of those androgen infested men would have walked up and slashed her throat, and that would have been the end of that.
Yeah.
She was not going to be the Empress, not with who she was surrounded by on that ship.
Yeah, the only part I didn't buy about the entire two-parter was the very end. I was like, this is great, this is good. Oh my god, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
That's where I ended at the show. Otherwise, I liked the entire thing. There was really nothing I didn't like about it. Everywhere from the signature lines from the original series, the
Gorn chase through the fucking.
I love the Gorn. I love that they had the Gorn.
That was amazing.
I was hoping for a Metron.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a Metron too.
The outfits, the original TNG or original TOS outfits they were wearing. I was like, wow, that's they weren't the exact colors, but they were close enough.
They were very close.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
I liked the little back and forth while they're looking at their, I guess, good counterparts. And
the TOS communicators too. I noticed that.
oh,
Which was kind of funny because the Enterprise communicators were actually smaller
no.
than the TOS communicators were actually bigger. It's like, wait a minute, you went to the bigger ones?
So they'd be more visible on screen.
Yeah.
Prospero says Barbie's dream ship.
Barbie's dream. That's
Nice.
amazing.
Well said.
It's Malibu Stacy's dream ship. Don't ask me. I'm just a girl.
Barbie's in charge of her own starship. She's the brutal dictator. Barbie, the brutal dictator.
Fertile dictator.
Who wants to bet that Barbie actually is a brutal dictator?
Oh, yeah. She definitely wears the pants in that family. Ken is a complete cuck.
Especially if Amy Schumer's going to play her. Just saying.
Were there any other key moments in the episode that stuck out for you?
Let me think. There were a couple. I just have to. Oh, the booth of pain. That was interesting.
Yes.
That was just. I know that's just a device to show the mirror.
The brutality.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were working on it at that point. They hadn't perfected the pain booth.
Yeah.
And the doctor was trying to figure out how to make it, by shifting to different areas of the brain.
Yeah.
It's little stuff like that. I think this was more for the fans.
Yeah.
Seems kind of strange that they had a booth when in the TOS they had the agonizer, a little button that it put on you. Why would you build a whole booth when you can do that with just a little tiny little piece?
The pain booth.
Well, and there's even in
Mr. Kyle, your agonizer, please.
In what's it called? TNG when in Gambit, that little neural thing that
oh yeah.
that the captain has control of. And he can push a button and now I want to watch the original Mirrors.
The interesting thing I find about this overall is that TNG never had a mirror episode.
Neither did Voyager. Oh, but actually, no, kind of did, because Living Witness was kind of a mirror episode without being a mirror episode.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Because they remember the I think it was the Kyrians and the other, I can't remember the name of the other race, but
yeah.
they misinterpreted the history and basically made Voyager out to be a warship and Janeway to be this brutal murdering thing, and so it was sort of a mirror episode, but not.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There was no TNG mirror episode.
Yeah, TNG was the one that really escaped demonizing its own staff, its own
Do you think they
officers.
did that on purpose?
It's hard. That's a hard call to make. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a whole comic series. That's why I was thinking, like, what are they talking about? There was a comic series that takes place in the TNG mirror universe.
Oh,
Yeah, and so there's some written canon about that.
so they did a comic, but not a.
Mm-hmm. And you can, it looks like the trade paperback's like $15.
Okay.
You can probably get the singles for cheaper. I don't know, because I was thinking, hold on, my memory was jogged when I heard that. So, yeah,
Maybe that's why Deep Space Nine had so many mirror episodes, because TNG didn't have any.
Maybe. Anything else stand out from that?
I don't think so. What about for you?
Well, Skep IP. What do you think? Anything else in the entire two-parter that you thought, hey, that's cool, or hey, that's terrible?
Yeah, no, I love the Gorn.
I like the way they killed him.
Yeah,
that was ingenious.
Yes.
The gravity plating, and then just shoot him a whole bunch of times with your phaser.
Exactly. Just shoot him 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. The theme of my discontent with this series was it had so many promising things. It had little bonbons it would throw out to you, like the Gorn, the little shout outs to other parts of the Star Trek canon that you just love. They just make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, make you happy. And then Scott Bakula comes and tries to act, and it's bad. Don't
let one guy ruin everything for you.
Don't let the star of the show, ruin everything for you. But he just was awful. And so you lick your wounds, and you're getting better from that. And the other guys are doing their thing, and the evil doctor I thought was an interesting idea. It was more the idea that I thought was interesting than whether or not he carried it off that well. He didn't really see all that much of him. I didn't really form a judgment too much about whether or not he turned in a great acting job. If I watched again with that in mind, I might come down on your side that he didn't really carry off that much of a convincing job doing the acting, but I thought the idea was interesting. There were a lot of, that's the fun thing about the mirror universe is everything is opposite. With a few exceptions. Vulcans are still logical. So that's one of the things that supposedly does not change. But everything else is, different. The Federation is, what is it called? The Terran
Empire. Yeah.
The Terran Empire.
Aren't they overthrown by the Cardassians and the Klingons later on?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
In the canon, but anyway,
the rebels take over. I think, don't they?
Yeah.
In the Deep Space Nine canon.
That's not right. But getting back to this episode, I kept waiting for it to be consistently good, and unfortunately, Archer's, I just can't get past. I think he does a bad job, and he did an extra bad job on this one. Sorry, that's the way
I agree. Honestly, I have to agree with you. Everyone else did really good at being bad. I like Bad Reed.
I love the Mirror Universe. Don't get me wrong. I love the paradigm. I just, Anyway.
You know what would have been
the
really
original Mirror episode, by the way, is one of my favorites.
It would have been really interesting to see Evil Picard on screen. Because have you ever seen a movie called Mastermind?
Mastermind.
That sounds familiar.
It's about this shit entitled genius kid who foils an attempt by a evil genius. I can't remember what the attempt is, but he foils the attempt, and the evil genius is played by Patrick Stewart. And it's basically Patrick Stewart versus this teenager. And he's so, like, it's meant to be a comedy, right? But Patrick Stewart is actually really good at being a bad guy. I would have loved to see Patrick Stewart portray evil Picard. That would have been really cool.
Is this Masterminds? Is that the name?
Yeah,
of
Masterminds. Sorry.
Masterminds. Okay.
Yeah. There, you know, that's interesting. He was in a movie called The Green Room where he played like the head of this Nazi movement that's out in
I saw it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, is that not a great movie or what?
It's a great movie.
Describe that movie a little bit more.
All right, so this band, this punk rock band, they're out west and they live on the East Coast, right? And so they have no money. They're a punk band, man. They're shitty and they have no money. And so they get offered this gig that's happening at this gathering. That's, oh, excuse me, if I just hit the mic, I apologize.
No worries.
This gathering, all right, that's happening in near Seattle. It's out in bumfuck Washington or Oregon, somewhere out there.
Okay.
And they agree $300. That'll get us home. Perfect. So they say okay to it. It's a bunch of Nazis, and they're waiting in the green room to go on stage and stuff, and they witness a murder. And
I've never seen that.
Yeah, and then and what?
It quickly becomes a horror movie.
What's the name of this movie?
It's called Green Room. Yeah.
Green Room.
Yeah.
He plays a good part in it. But we don't want to give it away for people who haven't seen it.
And Yeltsin,
I'm just writing it down.
Anton Yelchin, the guy that played the
Chekhov.
briefly played Chekhov. He was fantastic in this movie. Dude.
Picard played it, or Patrick Stewart played a pretty good bad guy.
Yeah, he was
not a yeller or a screamer like that, but just a good planner, conniver kind of
exactly
head honcho kind of thing. But I would say that to answer my own question, that the only other thing that really stood out about the two-parter to me was the special effects were on point. Holy mackerel! The explosion of the Enterprise, man, that looked good.
The sound effects were great.
Yeah.
The only thing that was bad was when the whatchamacallit, the crab guy, what the hell they call him again? What's his name?
Oh, the Tholians.
Tholians. When the Tholian exploded, it kind of turned into feathers. The way everything just kind of floated to the ground. That's not how crystal works.
Yeah. No.
That's not how crystal works. They're not all the same size. They don't float to the ground. It shatters and it bounces all over the place.
Right.
You know, and it makes a noise, shattering of glass. It's a hard substance. It doesn't explode like a puff of
feathers.
Yeah, feathers.
That whole treatment, though, it was probably one of the weaker points, I think, of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I agree with you.
And the jump scare when Archer's looking to see where it is, and it jumps up and he jumps back. I was so stupid. I was like, "Oh, come on!" I knew as soon as Archer put his face up to the glass, I knew that thing was going to bounce around the corner. And sure enough,
yeah.
Anyone else find that there was just great music in this episode? Like the soundtrack, despite whatever bad scenery or whatever was going on, it matched everything. Like it was really well written or composed. Well done, I think.
I think that's kind of the great thing about music well done is that you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right.
It just fits right in with everything that's happening, and it just helps progress the story. So it doesn't stick out and say, "Hey, I'm great music," or "Hey, I'm awful music." You know, you're like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree because I don't particularly remember it. So if I don't remember it, that means it must have fit in really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly the way I feel about it. If it, if it is right for the story, it just becomes a part of the picture.
Yeah,
And
it helps set the tone for any particular scene.
exactly.
Didn't
Howling dog, fix that. Go get.
am I thinking that this episode opened with like a scene from it looked like The Shield? Does anybody remember that?
No.
This may have been something else I was watching. I watch a lot of shit back, because of what I do and everything. So, it was FX.
Yeah, I think this was probably my top 5, to be honest with you. This was probably, how I feel about two-parters. I'm not a big fan of two-parters, but if you were to say pick 5 of your favorites of Enterprise, Silent Enemy, of course, would be number 1, but this would be in my top 5. Scorpion was pretty good too.
I agree. Sorry, 8,000 people are texting me right now. Well, not 8,000, but
Okay.
Wouldn't that be nice if you can set up Twitter so it would automatically reply to anybody who DM'd you with the link to the stream that you're currently running?
Or text messages.
Sorry, I'm currently streaming. Here's the link.
Is there an auto reply?
I would love to set up iMessage to do the same thing. Sorry, I'm streaming. Check me out at.
Yeah.
There's an auto reply on Twitter. That would be easy to set up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So,
well,
we have more to cover. Or are we ready to wrap?
I think we've covered everything. And we've got about 5 minutes left, so I think we've done good.
Yeah.
And it was so great to have all 4 of us back together. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So next Saturday, I don't believe we're going to be able to do a stream because we're going up to our cottage next week and there's no internet up there. But the weekend after that, did we decide that we were going to cover the Xindi arc? Or are we going to move on to the favorites?
I can go either way.
Are we voting?
Yeah,
I want to go into favorites.
You want to go on to favorites? I'm kind of with.
Yeah, never a fan of the Xindi arc.
I'm kind of with you on that.
I think if any one of us is not a fan of the Xindi arc, it would be cruel and unusual punishment to subject you
to 14 episodes, right?
A week of the Xindi arc. Yeah, I think
it's like 20 episodes.
26 of them. Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that.
A zillion of them. So
yeah, let's not do that. Welcome back, Hammer. Watch 26 of your least favorite
punishment
episodes.
for getting well.
Yeah. So I think we'll go on to the favorites, and of course we'll start with the original series. So who would like to go first for that?
IP would.
I nominate IP.
Let's see.
All in favor.
So you can pick 3 original episodes that are your top favorites.
Okay.
And you can let us know in our group DM what they are, and we will watch them and we will talk about them.
One thing I think we should all be able to do is each of us should be able to reserve one favorite so that somebody else doesn't pick one of our favorites.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, well, we could talk about it in group DM.
Yeah. But I think that's a good compromise. So, guys, thank you.
Pressure's on IP.
Yeah. Well, you've got 2 weeks.
I can't remember the name of the episode, but you know what I'm going to pick, the Edith Keeler.
Yesterday's
City on the Edge of Tomorrow.
City on the Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, I got it right! Yay, me!
Edge of Forever.
City on the Edge of Forever.
Yeah, right.
And I think it was written by Harlan Ellison, wasn't it?
Is that the one he wrote?
Yeah, written by Harlan Ellison. Yeah. That'll
Well-
definitely be one of them.
Well,
I claim it. I'm claiming it.
that's yours.
All right, so are we
That's your
doing it like
reserved
first series?
favorite.
You're safe because it's not mine.
All right, so all right, so is it like out of each series,
Yeah,
Or-
we're gonna do
3 of each?
3 of each for each
Alright.
of us.
And beginning with the TOS. All right.
Yeah.
You got
so,
2 weeks.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks to pick your 3.
Okay, cool.
So
Definitely.
guys, I really thank my panel for coming out to talk Star Trek with me, and I thank chat for coming out as well. Go hang out with Bloodwing for a bit at Redneck Radio, and if you want, make your way back here for around 5 p.m. I'm gonna do an hour of a hangout stream for a birthday celebration, and then I'm going to
It's
fire up the PlayStation.
5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
That's correct. So 4 p.m. Central.
4 p.m. Central.
And then at around 6, if my game is downloaded by then, I will fire up the PlayStation and play my new game on stream. So that'll be fun.
Cool.
So, what are you? Who are you interviewing tomorrow, Irene?
I've got the lady known as the Unapologetic Canadian, also known as Leaf, also known as Sweet Leaf, also known as everybody knows her on Twitter because she's probably tied it up with you at least 3 times. Gotten in an argument with you. She's a very, very, very interesting person. She's funny as hell. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
Also check out Minions of the Zoo tonight at 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central, and Reject is hosting, correct?
Ooh,
I think.
yes.
All right.
Amber?
So,
Unless you hear differently.
yeah, unless we hear differently, Reject will be the keeper tonight. So everybody go check that out. I hope to see you guys back at around 5 p.m. for the hangout. Just gonna have some fun. And have an amazing weekend, guys.
You do the same. Happy birthday, Blind.
That's it. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.